Okay, y'all, Game of Thrones season 4, episode 2. Now, this was the fucking episode I've been waiting on since fucking day one. Okay, let me tell y'all. So I'm not gonna get into the meat of the episode yet. I'm gonna tell y'all that shit at the end. But let's talk about it. So, Bran, Mira, her brother, um, Summer, his wolf, and um, who else is with them? And Hodor. Okay, is they passed the wall and they're heading towards a 3-eye raven now. Bran is having dreams, okay, and in the dream he was hungry and he was like voguing through Summer, his dog. I mean, not Summer, yeah, Summer, his dog, his direwolf. And then when he came out of the trance or whatever, they was basically telling him that he was like in that state for hours, and they was telling him like, you're not supposed to do that because you could end up getting stuck as a direwolf, and when you come back to being a human, you ain't even gonna know how to be human. You're gonna forget who you is. Like, you're gonna be thinking that you're a wolf for real, pretty much. You ain't gonna know nobody. You're gonna just forget everything. So then Bran goes, as they continue to walk, he walks to this tree and he touch it, and he see like visions of things that happened in the past. His dad, things that's happening over the wall. He sees like a lot of little different things and stuff. And the 3-eye raven is calling him and telling him, showing him where to go. So after he come out of that, he's like, all right, I know where to go, or whatever the case may be. He on his way to the 3-eye raven. Now, Bruce Bolton is named the Warden of the North by Tywin Lannister. Okay, um, so he goes back to wherever the Boltons live. Okay, I think they live in Harrenhal or something. I don't fucking know. But he goes back to where the Boltons live, and his son Ramsay Bolton is there, and he shows him Theon. So basically, Bruce Bolton is like pissed off with Ramsay because he like, I didn't tell you to go send no letters out to people and this, that, and the third and do all this other extra shit. I just told you to go get Theon and keep him captive or whatever. I didn't tell you to mutilate him and do all this extraness. Like, Theon was supposed to be a pawn in Bruce Bolton's him trying to get the whole North or whatever. And he needs the Iron Island so that he can cross over or some shit like that. So Theon was supposed to have been like a pawn, whatever the case may be, but Ramsay Bolton, he didn't basically mutilate it, cut his dick off and cut off Theon dick and basically trained him to be some fucking body else that he ain't for real. Like, he basically broke Theon. So he was basically trying to prove to his father, like, yeah, that Theon is his little bitch for real. And he was basically like, talking shit about robbing him and everything like that while Theon was giving him a shave or whatever. And if Theon was smart, like, he would have sliced his ass for real, and been done with it. But he's so damn fucked up psychologically, he just went with the shit and all that, or whatever the case may be. So then he tells them that he never really got rid of the Stark boys, Rickon and Bran. So his father basically orders him and tells him, well, go find the Stark boys, or whatever the case may be, because they're going to be key to him fully taking over the North, because if people find out that the Stark boys is still alive, then they're going to rally up for them, or whatever the case may be. So, let's see, Stannis. So Stannis is over there having Melisandre fucking light up every goddamn body over there. They got people being living sacrifices on that fucking front lawn and shit. They in Dragonstone, by the way. They got ran out of Storm's End. So they in Dragonstone, and like I said, Stannis' wife is just as fucking crazy as Melisandre. They believe in the same religion. They burn up people who don't believe in their religion and everything like that. So basically, Melisandre, they basically like they had burnt up freaking Stannis' brother-in-law, who is his wife's brother, and they just sat there and watched. And she like, ooh, like, that's some spectacular ass shit. I said, these motherfucking people crazy as hell over here at Stannis' house. Okay, so so they at dinner or whatever the case may be, and Stannis' wife is telling him like, yeah, your daughter, she need to be dealt with. Like, I guess she must have given him her attitude or something like that, and She basically saying like she got something, a demon in her or whatever the case may be, or else she wouldn't be looking the way that she looked because she got like a skin condition or something like that. And she was basically saying like she need to get her tail whooped. And Stannis was like, "You ain't gonna be striking my daughter. Like you ain't doing none of that shit." And she was like, "Well, let's get Melisandre to go talk to her or whatever." So Melisandre go in there and try to talk to her and try to like fill her motherfucking head up with bullshit for real. But the little girl's smart, so I don't think that she really paying Melisandre ass no mind. Now let's get to what we all been waiting for, okay, back in King's Landing, because this is where the meat of everything went down. So they're definitely preparing for the royal wedding, okay? The royal wedding is today. So basically, Shay, Theon basically get Shay, okay, not Theon, but Tyrion had to basically treat Shay a little bad, like, talk down to her, call her a whore and all this and that, so she could get the fuck on, or whatever the case may be. And he, like, you gotta go, or whatever the case may be. So she basically, she broke out crying and ran away because at the end of the day, it's like, his father is there. He know about her, so it's not safe. And Tyrion don't want anything to happen to her, or whatever the case may be. So they got the royal wedding or whatever. No, so Bronn is helping Jaime do his sword fighting and get better at sword fighting so he can master his left hand because his right hand is gone or whatever. And they doing that as discreet so he can build himself up or whatever. And I'm trying to remember any other key details. Oh, and the Prince of Dawn is there, and that's where Marcella was sent to. But the Prince of Dawn don't like one of the Princes of Dawn. It's the second son, and he don't like the Lannisters because of during Robert's rebellion, they had murked his sister who was married to Rhaegar Targaryen or whatever, and their children. So they don't fuck with the Lannisters or whatever the case may be. Now, let's talk about the wedding. So they have a nice little wedding or whatever at the end of the day. Marjorie and what's his name? But at Joffrey. So at that brunch or whatever the case may be, Joffrey was acting like he was polite and shit, like a nice person, at the morning brunch. But then after the wedding and at the reception, his motherfucking demon came out. Like he can't conceal that demon but too much longer, whatever the case may be. So basically, his favorite thing to do is to freaking his favorite thing to do is to like, you know, torture Tyrion in front of everybody and basically like try to bitch Tyrion in front of everybody and stuff. So he basically like kicked his cup off the table, made Tyrion walk across the room to grab his cup, fill his wine, was talking big shit about him. Then he had like this little play going on about the five kings or whatever, and they was like being real disrespectful because Stannis, people liked Renly, people liked, Rob Stark and stuff like that, and their family members that hurt, and nobody was really laughing at that shit, but fucking Joffrey, like he was the only one fucking laughing at that shit. Like after the wedding, his true colors came out, and he was the only one laughing. Marjorie was trying her best to like distract him on other shit so that to soften the blow on how bad he was treating Tyrion and everybody else. But it is what it was. So then he ended up drinking the cup or whatever. He drinks some cup of wine after he had ate some pie, and his ass choked out to fucking death. So now he laying down, choked out, whatever the case may be, and his mother goes running to him, and Jaime go running to him, and everybody is in disbelief, like, oh my goodness, the king, the king, the king, and his ass can't even fucking breathe and shit, because his last moments was doing some mean ass shit to somebody. You feel me? And so somebody had came and grabbed Sansa and was like, come on, if you want to live, we got to go. I don't know who pulled her up out of there, but her ass left the table. A few people had left that goddamn table at that moment. You feel me? And then all of a sudden, at Joffrey was pointing towards Tyrion, who was standing at the thing, and then Cersei looked over at Tyrion and was like, he did it. He's the one that did it to my son. Arrest him. Get him. And then Tywin just looking like, here we go. There's some other shit that I gotta clean up. It's some this mess, or whatever the case may be. The whole time he thinking about how much money he kicking out for this shit. Okay, that's all he thinking about. So Joffrey is gone. I thought I would never be so happy to say something like that, but Joffrey is out of here, y'all. And that is the end of the story. Now we need the Bolton boy gone, and that would be good. But that's it. And that is all. Tell me what y'all thought about this episode.